art of spiritual dreaming, and it sounds so esoteric. And I would like you, John, to explain briefly what the art of spiritual dreaming means.
Art of spiritual dreaming, from my understanding, simply means making contact with the Holy Spirit. Making contact with the Holy Spirit in the form of the Mahanta, the living egg master, who is the dream master. The Mahanta, the living egg master, is the leader of Ekankar, and he helps anybody who wants to know more about God. And so when I became a member of Ekankar, I sing the hymn every day, in the morning, in the night, in the daytime. And my wife and our sister used to laugh at me every time, you. So one weekend, I traveled to the village, and I was supposed to come back on the Sunday, but I couldn't come back because the road was bad. And so my wife was worried. So that weekend, she picked up the picture of the mountain and said, "You are not my master. You are my husband's master. Where is my husband?" She gave me a challenge, and that night she had a dream. In the dream, the mountain appeared to her and said, "Your husband is fine, but your husband couldn't come in because the road was bad, but he will come in safely on Monday."
Now, you heard John talk about the art of spiritual dreaming. Do you have anything to add to that?
Yes, the heart of spiritual dreaming. When you look at the heart, the study of dream itself is an art. In Ekankar, it is highly important, highly interesting and spiritual program. And I could recall that as a degree holder on psychology, I read so many things about dreams. But when I came across Ekankar and I became a member, and I was introduced to you, I sang you in a particular night, and my dream world actually exposed me to so many things about my life. And this is unlike when I've not actually became a member of Ekankar, because I do normally sing you, I just sleep and I have a dream experience. But this time around, when I sang you, I actually met the dream master, who happened to be a teacher and guided me on my various journey in the dream world.
Thank you very much. Now, I think we talked about the dream master. You also talked about the dream master. Would you tell us more about this dream master?
The dream master is the key to the teachings of Ekankar. Because when we actually go to sleep, our bodies lie in bed. But soul, our real self is soul, we don't sleep. And so soul travels into the inner worlds. And those experiences we have in the inner worlds is what we call dreams. At that point in time, the Mahanta, the living life master, will begin to show you about yourself, will bring all the situations back to you, to show you things that are happening to your life now, in the past, and also in the future, so that you can become a master of your own life.
Now, talking about the dream master, is he available to non-members of Ekankar?
Actually,
I know John talked about the wife having interaction with the dream master, in the dream, of course. Would that not mean that it was just because she was the wife? Can that happen to those who don't have any connection with Ekankar?
the dream master is actually a teacher to every soul in form, not necessarily the members of Ekankar. All souls are children of God. They are actually there to learn a lot of things about life. God is actually with us, and is actually the representative of God in the whole universes of God. I recall that before I became a member of Ekankar, I used to have dream experiences in the inner. And an individual usually appear to me and give me some guidance. But when I became a full member of Ekankar, I now realized that the person that had been appearing to me happen to be the Mahanta, the living Ekankar, the Dream Master. So the Dream Master is not actually limited to members of Ekankar alone. It's for everybody who actually recognize his role and his importance.
Now, John, how would you say that dream is real? To what extent?
Dream is very real because that is one way that God uses to speak to all of us. So all we need to do is to learn how God speaks to us so as to understand the message. When I had a dream experience, I was there in Port Harcourt, and I had a dream experience that I went for an interview. And then in the dream state, and I passed, I did very well. But I had not written any application. And so after about a week, I wrote down my dream experience in a book. I call it a dream book. 1 week later, somebody came from Abuja to look for me and said, "You have a job in Abuja." I said, "Me? How did they know about me?" I didn't write an application. He said, "The MD of the company is my friend, and I told him that if I could convince you to come to Abuja, you will actually solve the problem." And I said to him, "Okay, I will go with you to Abuja." And I went to Abuja. And when I went to Abuja, it was a new experience for me because one, I had to choose between where I was working, which was the bank, and then to go and work in a hotel. It was a very difficult decision to make, but the dream was very clear that you passed. And so I said, let it manifest in a perfect way for the good of the whole.
Remember, we are on to how to find God. And our topic this week has been the art of spiritual dreaming. And in the studio with me have been John Akraka and Aderemi Adokiki, who are members of the Ekankar clergy. Now, we are talking about the reality of dreams, and you've just given us an example of how the dream you had manifested and it became true. Does this happen to all persons, whether you're a member of Ekankar or not? There are those who also think that they don't dream at all. How do you put these things together?
Yes, dream is actually reality. However, many people believe that dreams are fallacies. It's because of their level of awareness. Because I remember something actually happened to me, which actually made me to have a strong conviction and the reality of dream. I was to sit for an exam, sometimes in my place of work, and this exam is highly competitive. A lot of people put in, and I was looking for a document that will actually qualify me to be part of this exam. I look here and there, I could not find the document. I now call on the Dream Master. I also sang you, low and below. In my dream state, the Mahanta, the living Master, the Dream Master guided me where the document is actually being kept. And when I woke up from that dream, I went straight to the point and I found that document. This goes further to confirm that dream is actually reality. But a lot of people, because of their level of consciousness or awareness, they tend to believe that dream is not real.
Yeah, lucky you. Now, what about those who say that they don't dream at all? Are there people who don't ever dream?
Everybody dreams, but some people don't remember their dreams. When you decide to make a study of your dreams, with the inner master, and how do you do that? You keep a dream journal, a dream book, a simple exercise book, and a biro, and then you make a postulate to yourself that I want to wake up and write my dream experience. It may not be very clear to you, but whatever you can remember, you write it down. Then when you go back to read it, you will see that every event in your life, God shows it to you in the dream state.
Now, Aderemi, what about so many people who tell us that when they dream, instead of what they dreamt about or manifest as they dreamt about it, the opposite will happen?
Yes, it is very necessary for anybody who actually have desire and dedication and interest in his dream world to take some steps. The first thing is that the holy name of God, Hugh, is very, very necessary for anybody. When you want to go to sleep, you sing this holy name of God and you call on the master to visit your dream world. And by the time you wake up, you may remember, you are likely to remember your dream fully. However, if you don't remember your dream fully, there is a role that dream sensor normally play for you to actually not to get destabilized. Because there are certain dreams that when you wake up and you remember, it may destabilize you. So the dream sensor play a role to actually make sure that you don't remember everything. So but when you now make a conscious effort to write it down, and you also make further effort to know what is the Holy Spirit is trying to tell me in this dream experience I have, then the Mahanta, the living master, the dream master, will continue to unfold to you the real meaning of your dream. If it is opposite, it will actually become unfolded to you as time goes on.
Thank you very much. And then we talked about the hue, and you also talked about the hue. And quite a lot of guests who have been coming on this program, they talk about the hue. Please, can you explain further on what this hue is?
The hue, H and U, is a holy name for God, which anybody can sing, whether you're a member of Ekankar or not. What it does is that it opens you up to the Holy Spirit, to the light and sound of God, so that the Holy Spirit will not do its will in your life. You will now see how God works with you consciously. When you sing the hue, you are actually touching the garment of God. And when you are with God, you are always the majority.
I don't know, why do you have frightening dreams, bad dreams?
The frightening dreams may be a result of your actions, your attitude, your karma, what you have actually done in the past. So these are negative experiences, and some people normally tag these as bad dreams. However, the dream master is there to actually assist you in removing this negativity. But you too must actually take a conscious effort to actually watch the way you actually go about. When you want to sleep at night, you watch what you do last. Because I could recall that when I used to have nightmares, what I first of all discovered that caused this thing is that I watch movie that are worrisome in nature. And when I take this thing into my conscious and I actually go to sleep, this thing will actually appear in my dream. So as much as possible, have a loving attitude and loving thing before you go to sleep. And most of the things that we have actually done in the past, it can be a sort of negative and nightmare and frightening things. But you have the opportunity, the master is there.
Thank you very much.
Singing hue can help expand your awareness.
Singing hue can help you experience divine love.
Singing hue can heal a broken heart.
Singing hue offers solace during times of grief.
Singing hue can help bring peace and calm.
If you're joining us now, you are on How to Find God, a program brought to you by Ekankar, the path of spiritual freedom. And our topic this week has been the art of spiritual dreaming. And I've been discussing with John and Aderemi. We're talking about bad dreams, nightmare. John, is nightmare a dream?
It's a dream. But it's like my friend said, it's a dream about, your karma. Let me tell a story. A friend of mine who is, a bricklayer, somebody burgled his house. And he was very angry. He said, how would this happen to me? I worked so hard and honestly. Why would somebody come and steal my property? But he happens to be a member of Ekankar. And so he sang the hymn. And then he asked the inner master, why did this happen to me? In the dream state, he saw himself and the man that stole his things from him. They met in the dream state. And the man said, you are complaining to the master that I stole this thing from. See what you did to me in the previous life. And when he saw what he did to the man in the previous life, it was far, far more than this thing. I already took this little from you and you are complaining. The dream was helping him to pay for the past things he has done before, because we have to come back to pay or to collect. And so it was a situation that was helping him to resolve his karma.
So, Adeleke, dreams are so useful, but let's address the issue of material survival. How can you use dream to make your life better materially?
In actual fact, anything you dream about is possible. However, there is something that may actually derail you. Material things are good for survival in this world, but what you actually need to actually survive without getting derailed from the spiritual road is very, very necessary. So when you have any ambition or any plan materially, then you surrender it. You now ask the master to give you all the necessary guidance, all the necessary direction that you are going to take for you to be able to achieve whatever material things you desire. So it's very necessary to whatever you actually desire to ask the inner master, the Mahanta, the spiritual leader, to give us the necessary guidance so that you don't get derailed from the spiritual goals.
So, John, what about healing? Can you also use dreams to heal yourself? Have you had any experience in that direction?
Yeah, there have been experiences about healing, but I will tell a story of a young friend of mine who was just new into Ekankar, and he was very sick. And when you are sick, that's when people actually suggest so many means of healing. But he decided to sing you and to ask the master to help him, the mantra to help him. And because of that, everybody, all his family and friends abandoned him. And then it continued like that until one day he had a dream. In the dream, he was in the court. The judge was there, and the judge asked him, "Where is your lawyer?" He said, "I have no lawyer." He said, "My son, you are in very big trouble." Then he remembered the Mahanta and he said, "Mahanta is my lawyer." And the master appeared. And when the Mahanta appeared, the judges and everybody in the court stood up in obedience and respect for the master, and they bowed. And the judge said, "You can go." He said, "No, you must discharge and acquit me." The judge said, "You are discharged and acquitted." And when he left that, when he opened his eyes for the dream, he found that the healing had started coming.
That's intriguing.
Yes.
But can you demonstrate how the heal is practiced?
You close your eyes, or you can keep your eyes open, whichever way you choose, and then you sing it softly and slowly like this. You. After a while, you stay silent and listen for the voice of God, because God speaks back to each of us. We call it contemplation. And then at the end of it, when you listen for the sound or also listen for the voice of God, then you say, "May the blessings be. May my blessings come to me, and may the blessings of others also go to them."
Now, apart from the individual efforts of keeping dream journals that John mentioned, do you have an organized training system that helps the individual to learn more about his dreams?
When I joined Ekankar, I first of all took 24 solid months to receive training from the Dream Master. There are discourses, books that I read, and to know the heart of dreaming, to remember my dream, to be able to interpret my dream, and to actually dream, to actually make sure that I achieve my ambition, spiritual ambition, material ambition. So this training does not stop there. It goes on and goes. We attend a lot of training workshops, seminars, listen to so many people that are very fast and have become professional in this spiritually in this dream. So there are so many training and that you actually attend for you to be able to master your dream. The dream master is actually training all of us to become a master of our universe. So that a lot of things that happen in our inner and outer world, we'll be able to master them. So there are so many programs that we actually do.
We are talking about the realities, the benefits of dreams, and how Ekankar has a form of training for members. Now, the question is, can others who are not members of Ekankar benefit from the training that Ekankar offers?
Even before I became a member of Ekankar, I had one of my most vivid dreams that really affected my life. I was back in school, secondary school in class 1. I was sleeping in the hostel, double decker. I was on top. And then I had a vivid dream that somebody very close to me had died. I rolled down with my pain. I cried. I rolled down from the bed and fell to the ground. And the whole dormitory woke up. And I was crying. They said, no, it's just a dream. I said, no, somebody close to me had died. They say it's just a dream. I wrote back to my parents, no response. Until after 3 months, I found out that it was my mother who had died. But I saw it vividly in my dream. But I didn't know at that time that it was my mother who had died. Until after 3 months. So dreams are very, very important. Even before you become an Ekis, the man that works with you. It is when you become a member of Ekankar that you come to realize that the Mahanta has been that unseen hand that has been helping you out.
So, Aderemi, what is unique about the teachings of Ekankar on dreams? What is that unique thing there?
The first unique thing is that we have a dream master who is a teacher who has actually mastered the art of dream. So the teacher will be there for you to actually take you into the inner world, to teach you and will guide you. Because when you go into the inner world, you need a guide where you have never been before. So the uniqueness of Ekankar is that there's a dream master to actually guide you. Then the hue, because it's a key to inner world. When you sing the hue, you have a very good passport to access the inner world. So because when I discover Ekankar, I've never become a member of Ekankar, but I sang you as given to us, those of us that attended that program, and I benefited. I find myself in the inner world. I found the Mahanta, the living master, who actually guided me on the dream world.
So, John, is there anything that you can get in form of help from the dream that you cannot get from the waking state? What is the difference?
In the dream state, you have no limitations. Because you can find yourself in Nigeria, you can find yourself in the inner world, you can find yourself anywhere. But when you are awake, you have so many physical limitations. Now, as Ekists, sometimes we make a conscious effort to become good students of the inner master by fixing maybe a date and say, okay, today, master, I want to dream consciously. I take a date, maybe a Thursday, a Wednesday, as you choose. That way, you are telling your teacher that I want to learn more from you. And the teacher will teach you. Will teach you about yourself, what is happening to you today, what has happened to you in the past, what will happen to you in the future, so that you can become a master of your own life. But above all, you can know how God speaks to you individually.
Now, to benefit so much from dreaming, do you need to embark on certain practices like fasting and the rest of it?
In addition to singing the holy name of God, and in addition to having the master as your guide, if you feel okay to fast on Friday, because our members of Ekankar, they recommend that we should do Friday fasting. If you have some challenges in your daily life and you want to have more insight into your life, by the time you do fasting on Friday and you combine with what we have been saying, singing the holy name of God here and calling the master to actually fix your dream world, you get more benefit, you get more enlightenment, and you have more information about your life. So mystery about your life, all those things that are actually proving some challenges will be resolved.
What about the kind of food that you eat? Are you supposed to eat certain food, avoid certain food before you actually dream vividly?
No, we don't take alcohol, that's it. Alcohol doesn't help you dream. But if you eat normal food like every other person does, without alcohol or drugs, fine, you can have a good dream.
Thank you very much. We have been discussing the topic, the art of spiritual dreaming, on how to find God. A program brought to you by Ekankar, the path of spiritual freedom. And John, I would like to thank you for being part of this program this week.
Thank you very much, Vincent.
And you, Aderemi, thank you so very much for sharing your thoughts with us on how to find God this week.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure.
Thank you very much. My name is Vincent Ochoma. Remember, next week we bring you another exciting edition of How to Find God.